And now, live from Isolation Station in Burbank, California, it's The Plague, week 28 of the Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Alison welcomes her guest. He's a comedian who has recreated his childhood blockbuster video in miniature, which is so realistic it has 32 copies of Lethal Weapon 2 and only 4 checked-out copies of Police Academy 6 City Under Siege. It's Ken Reid. And she's an actress and comedian whose advice to young women looking to find a husband is simply walk up to a guy you like and then rub your butt all over him. It's Arden Myrin. Tone Zone is here to announce the newest appointment to fill his vacancy on his scrotus. I'm her husband Daniel saying hop on board the love bus and say hello to your new best friend, Alison Rosen.
Alison Rosen. Alison Rosen is your new best friend. Alison. With her the good times never end. Alison Rosen. Doing the wavy pencil dance again. Alison Rosen. Alison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little cold pimps. Welcome to another exciting episode of Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular racy-sounding carbohydrate was sent in on Patreon. By Lisa Lowry. And Cold Pimps is pimento cheese in a taco shell with Fritos. And she included a barf emoji. I feel like it might not be that bad. I would prefer it.
Good to me. I want to eat that. Is that
I
bad?
would prefer it not in a taco shell.
That sounds like something on Married with Children that a pregnant woman would eat.
Yes.
Like just a lazy writer's pregnant woman meal.
Yes.
It feels like college. I feel like I would have eaten that happily. I would eat that now. I would not like myself while I was doing it, but I would enjoy the flavors.
Let me say hello to my guests so you know who's behind these voices, even though they have pretty identifiable voices. First up, return guest, guy who lives in... he lives in a house that has all sorts of like bric-a-brac and cool stuff, but his studio has so much in it, you wonder if he is running a gadget shop or is just lovably eccentric. I feel like this is coming across so insulting. Ken Reid, I'm not trying to insult you. Hello.
It's all right. Hello. I think last time you said I live in a cool junkyard, so you've already done better than last time.
It feels like a set. It's so exciting. Yeah. It feels almost better than like a normal human. It is. It's a lot of mementos. Alison's not wrong in her description. I'm looking at it. It feels like a TV set of a collector of pop culture.
Yeah.
Or puppets live there.
Yeah.
Well, I do have puppets. I have a puppet of my dog Ted back there.
It's like a Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
I would also like to say hello and welcome back to Arden Myrin. Hello.
Hi. Hello. It's so good to be here.
Is this a first in Alison Rosen is Your New Best Friend history? I don't know. I feel like some, excuse me, of the more devoted listeners can write in and let us know. But you were my Monday show guest, and now you're on the same week Thursday show.
I love this. It's
Arden week.
I mean, that's how you become best friends. Oh my God.
It's Arden week.
Arden week.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? That is such a present. I am delighted by that. That's so exciting.
It's official Arden week. You're back. Did you wonder whether to play it again, Tony?
I really wanted that. I really feel like I needed that today. And I really, times are crazy right now. And I'm appreciating having my own little sting.
This one, Arden week?
Arden week.
Oh my God. That means somebody made that. That means somebody made
Tony?
that.
That was me. That's why.
It was Tony. Yeah.
I couldn't figure out. It could have been any of Orlando Bloom. It could have been.
They just found it. It's just born that way.
It was just born that way. I love it. It was unearthed. Thank you so much.
If you only knew the texts going back and forth between old patient Tone Zone and me, this file is called Arden Week 5.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, the Tone Zone.
Tone Zone was getting lots of notes.
Well,
I know
in my defense, you just couldn't hear hear weak. And so then there was one that was like, Arden, weak.
Oh my God, this thrills. I know that my new best friend, Alison Rosen, I know my new best friend, she likes what she likes. And it's not, she wasn't criticizing you. She needed to hear weak. I know that.
I know.
That I feel like in a
and then
podcast called Alison Rosen's Your New Best Friend, I feel so excited to make it like through the like to do 2. I feel very excited.
Well, you haven't made it all the way through this one yet.
No,
right.
I'm gonna get kicked off the boat.
Alison usually makes the speech like, look to your left, look to your right. One of these people isn't going to be here by the end of the show.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm like, you guys aren't here to make friends. Wait, is that speech from Grey's Anatomy?
I think it's from like anything that has a mentor and people learning.
Yes.
But I do feel like it especially is from Grey's Anatomy, and what's her name gave them all a speech at the beginning.
Miranda Bailey.
Yes.
Can I tell you what?
Please.
I auditioned for that part in that.
Oh, really?
pilot. Can you imagine if that was me? I mean, like little 26-year-old Arden or whatever. Like, you look to your, like, who would have ever thought that I'm running a hospital? This voice is running a hospital at the age of 26. Like, you look to your left, you look to your right. Some of you guys aren't good. I remember thinking, this is the part you're setting me up for? I'm not going to book this. And I didn't.
Well, not with that attitude. I have a question, though.
I tried.
Because you and the actor... Do we say actress anymore? Or does it just all actor?
I think it's all actor, but I always loved the word actress. I just wanted to be an actress. So to me, I don't take it as an insult, but I think everybody says actor now. I think actor.
I got yelled at by Claudia Christensen for saying actor. It's the only, because I always say actor. Yeah, she got real mad.
She wanted to be an actress?
She's like, I'm an actress. I don't have a penis.
Oh, wow.
I don't think you can win. I think you can't win right now.
Yeah.
That is the... Oh, wait, no. My metaphor is not working, but I'm committed at this point. That's like the verbal equivalent of getting yelled at for holding a door open for someone.
Yeah, I have arms. I can hold the door.
Yeah, because I feel like I hear people guys talk like, I don't even know if I should hold a door. I don't want to get yelled at. And I'm like, no one ever yells at someone for holding a door.
No.
But then this happened to you, Ken. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
I couldn't care less which you call me. So you can call it actor and actress or whatever. So you had a question. So what was you were saying?
The performer who they hired to play Miranda Bailey is a very different type than you.
Yeah.
She is a sort of slightly, she's a lovably pudgy black woman.
Yes.
So I'm just curious, they called you in for that. They called her in for that. Did they not know at all what they wanted?
I am always the one that's or we could go another way. And I sometimes book it. Even when there are parts that are for high-voiced blonde ladies, I will show up and I will be there for like Mr. Anderson. Like I will literally never be there for a part that I could possibly get. I am always or we could go in like male part. And I've booked a few, so I've learned to not quite question it. But I'm always the sort of quirky X factor just to show them options often. Like I played a prison doctor in Orange is the New Black that was written for like an ancient male. It was like Dr. Gregory Brooks. It was like an old male prison doctor, and it was me and it was like Bob Newhart and like that kind, like me and a bunch of like older actors. And I booked it. So like I sometimes it works for me. I almost feel like it's almost like, oh, I hadn't thought of it like that. It's easier than if I'm sitting next to like Anna Faris or something. You know what I mean? Like it's almost easier to be like the weirdo X Factor.
Right.
Be funny if it was always Bob Newhart. It was always you and Bob Newhart, no matter what the part. Yeah.
Damn you, Marine. It's always which one do you want? You want a Newhart? You want a Marine?
I might as well leave if she's here.
That could be the plot of a movie where you discover the world sees you as looking like Newhart. Well, I think they already made that movie with Amy Schumer, but
that's right. Pretty. This is called I Feel Newhart.
So wait, okay. So I watched Orange is the New Black up to, I don't know, and I've been meaning to catch up. Which season were you in?
Season 1. I did one episode. This was when Netflix was first starting out. It was the potential to be recurring. I guess it didn't happen. It
could still happen.
They put a pin in me. They Okay, so when I got the audition, it was like before House of Cards had started airing. It was not. They said, "Do you want to go audition for a web series?" Because it was on the internet, so they called it a web show. Orange is the New Black, and it literally they treated it like it was like, "Do you want to go out for this like internet series?" And it was season 1 when Laverne Cox needed her meds and. She swallowed the bobblehead, and I was like that, like uptight sort of Tracy Flick from Election doctor who was like, "I'm not giving you your fucking you swallowed a bobble." Like, I was Dr. Gregory Brooks. I was so doctor. I was like
Total
Bob.
Greg.
I was like that
Classic
Bob Newhart. You just saw
GB.
Bob Newhart. You thought it was Newhart.
It's GB. It's a GB
totally,
move.
I totally GB'd her. I GB'd her. I was having none of her shenanigans. Yeah.
Did
didn't
Andrew
even
McCarthy? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying I didn't even remember that she swallowed a bobblehead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like something she would do. What were you going to say, Ken?
Oh, did Andrew McCarthy direct the pilot? Because he directed most of season 1.
Okay, so I wasn't in the pilot. I was in episode like 4.
Oh, 4, yeah.
And they didn't warn me, and I got out there. And the director was freaking Jodie Foster.
Whoa.
Oh,
And I was, again, I thought I was doing a web show. And then I'm out at this prison, and here comes Jodie Foster. And I'm like a pop culture super fan, and I panicked. And at the end of and she wasn't, I don't think that into me. I don't think she was that into me. And then at the end, I panicked and I hugged her, and she wasn't she wasn't into it. It was not. It was one of I couldn't stop going over it again and again in my head. Like, why did you pull Jodie Foster? Like, she was not giving off any. Her arms were crossed. Like, she wasn't making eye contact. Like, I fully pulled in Jodie Foster for.
I have an idea of how you could impress her.
What's that?
Well, it involves a gun. That's a history joke for people.
You're right. I know exactly. That is a history joke, and it didn't really work that well the first time, but maybe 2 times the charm.
I think he made a couple of mistakes. I think he could do it right the second time.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I shouldn't let this. I shouldn't let this go, even though this was like 9 years ago. I should just go for this.
I feel like we need to like issue some sort of like, haha, we're totally kidding. This is a reference to that guy whose name,
yeah.
Mark. Whose name I'm forgetting.
Mark Chapin?
Mark David Chapman?
Yes.
No, he
Yeah,
killed John Lennon. No, this was the guy that tried to shoot Reagan.
Hinckley?
Hinckley.
So for those of you who are younger out there, poor Jodie Foster was like a child star, one of the greatest child stars. I mean, so brilliant, so
Bugsy
talented.
Malone.
She was just as talented as can be and really smart. Did she go to Yale or Harvard? She was like
She went to
One of
Yale.
those.
Yeah.
trying to live a normal life at like Brown or Yale or Harvard, just like literally trying to have some privacy, sort of like Natalie Portman who went to Harvard, like Emma Watson who went to Brown, like just this woman who happened to be very talented, happened to be very famous, trying to live a normal life, fairly private. And this madman took a shot at the president, and then he claimed it was for her. Like, what? And she was just a private person trying to do her thing. I think it was, and I think it really affected her. I think it was a real nightmare for her. I mean, obviously.
It was the first promposal.
Yeah.
So, disclaimer, Arden's not going to kill Ronald Reagan.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Tony,
I'm not.
Tony, did I officially say hi to you?
Nope.
I would like to officially say hello to Tony Thaxton. This has just been, look, quarantine is affecting us all in different ways. I started curling my hair today. I do not have it curled, but there is something about my appearance I need to make note of. But one of the things that's happening, in addition to school shutting down, you can't get Lysol wipes. I've been forgetting to say hi to Tony. Tony, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Can I make it up to you?
Like I always say, I'm here every week, so it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's almost not necessary.
Tony, I feel like your self-worth is in the toilet right now. I don't know if that's true or not, but just go with it for this bit. I feel like it's in the toilet, and therefore you don't care. You're just like, I'm a doormat. I'm here regardless. And you don't even care whether you are introduced properly and reliably. And you are worth more, Tone Zone.
Oh my God. My life is changing right before my eyes.
You need to stand in your majesty and declare it.
You need to start a multi-level marketing plan and own your Majesty, Tone Zone.
That's right. There's Majesty here, and it's yours.
Yeah.
It's your
All right.
Majesty.
You got to be a human doing.
Yes, you've got to be a human doing, Tone Zone.
I think
By
the
the
other
way-
problem is I live alone, and Mondays are like my especially busy day, and so like I have not spoken or seen another human until now, today. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I feel like it takes me a little bit to even really, feel like a human during these, which is good, right?
You know what?
Wait, so these are your especially busy days not having to do with my show, or because my show is also on this day? I chose the one day of week that's like hard for you to do
Yeah, is
this
this
show,
like
right?
garbage day or something? Like, what are you doing on Mondays?
What are you doing on Mondays that has nothing to do with other people? That's so busy.
Well, I do this.
your show.
I mean, this show, but then I'm finishing up my show, which is very production heavy, and I'm doing that a lot of Monday. But I mean, we used to always record on Mondays, so that doesn't really change anything for me.
Do you need 4 slightly different versions of you saying Arden Week for your show? Because I
know
give
I-
them to you.
I'd like to bump it up to 5, actually.
Then it's an EP.
That's fine. We could do that. I forgot to mention Patreon, I mentioned it, but I didn't even say what it is, although I feel like everyone knows what it is at this point, but I am obligated to say, go to patreon.com/Alison Rosen behind the scenes content. 3 to 4 bonus episodes a month now. Now that is almost weekly. I just can't commit, but I mean 3 to 4, that's weekly. There's audio episodes. I record the video as well. I just recorded one with Daniel. It was super fun. We answered all your questions. You can see the video of this, and I have started attempting to contour my nose. I've been watching YouTube videos.
This is fun.
I ordered it's supposed to be the Universal Contour Shade, benefits Hoola. However, I feel like it's not the right shade for me. My nose, it's basically my nose is copper today. It doesn't look
It looks good.
really.
It does. You got some nice shadowing.
I feel
going.
like I look really shiny. I want to powder myself now. Look
Do
at
it. You can see Arden powder. Oh, I like that brush. Tony, can you play the gal chat drop?
Gal chat.
What kind of brush are we looking at?
This is from I got a Morphe travel kit, and I like their brushes. You gotta, because their stuff is affordable, so you gotta go kind of like a couple steps up, and they make really nice brushes, and they're not expensive.
I coppered my nose with the Morphe nose contour set. Now, this is a collab. This is not an ad, by the way. This is a collab they did with someone who I hadn't even heard of named Brittany Bear. I think she's just Brit Bear. She's a YouTuber. And wow, is her nose snatched, you guys?
How did it go? How was the brush? How did it go?
It was fine. It was good. It was interesting.
Your
It's
nose does not look copper. You look great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You can see this video at patreon.com/Alison Rosen. Now, speaking of lingo, which I just was when I said her nose was snatched.
Yes.
Tony Zoni.
Tony. Spelled 3 different ways.
Saxton. Nice. You posted a tweet, and I said we have to talk about that particular lingo. You were making a joke that you are going to speak to the young people, and you said WAP is a bop that slaps. Now, I also have noticed this use of bop and slaps, and I was thinking I would spend some time looking up the where these originated, but then I completely forgot because I had to do my nose. So, what's up with that language? That's my question for everyone.
Are kids just really into Peter Wolf and the Jay Giles band now? It's like,
Were those
WAP is a bop that slaps. Like, it just sounds like some 70s awful
I don't know
DJ.
bop. I know WAP and I know slaps. I don't know bop.
So, a bop is a song that slaps, I think, right, Tony?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a.
It's like, are you ready, boppers?
Yeah,
like
it's
that?
just like what the kids say now. Like when they like a song, they're like, "That song's a bop."
It's a
It's
bop.
like 50s lingo.
Okay, got
They're
it.
calling you daddy-o and
That's really cute. Okay, I got it now. I got it. Okay, I'm in.
But does Bop stand for something? Because most of the things stand for something.
Oh.
Like it sounds cute, but it really means like
I'm gonna look it up.
bastards
I don't
over
think
penises.
I'm
or
trying to look
something.
it up right now, and it
mean-
looks like it's just basically like the old version of it.
Bless
It's
you.
not like bags of penis. It's not anything like that.
Bags of pain.
Yeah.
Slaps has been around for 2 years, and I know this because on Insatiable, I was on with all the kids because there's a lot of the high school kids on the show. And they would be like, "Oh, like whatever, such and so slaps." So that's been going around for 2 years. I almost suspect that slaps will be on its way out now that we all know it.
Probably.
I just knew it because I was like front row at at Insatiable with all the cool kids.
I don't like either one of them, but I feel like Bop at least makes a little more sense than Slaps does, though, right?
Well, it's like a slap bass, you know? You're like, yeah.
Yeah,
like
that's
the
exactly what
Seinfeld
it is.
theme
That's exactly what it is. Like the Seinfeld theme song. That's
Yeah.
what it is. That's
So
what
the next
slaps
thing's
is.
going to be like, yo, that's fretless.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Was there lingo when you were a teenager that you said that you're completely embarrassed by now that you said like all the time?
Ooh, that's a good question.
So occasionally I still say rad.
I like
say
rad. I like rad.
awesome. I say awesome way too much because I find that like it'll creep in twice in two sentences and I'll have to take one out. What else do I say? I probably at one point said tubular. Oh, I've
Wow.
never
That's
liked.
hardcore.
I know. I've never liked Cool Beans, and I won't use it.
I don't like Cool Beans either. I've never in my life used Cool Beans ever.
Nope.
I don't like it.
Tony, you're awfully quiet. Are you a Cool Beans?
Are you Cool Beans?
No, I've never. I feel like most of these I've probably said, but never sincerely. Like always.
Even when you were known as Devil Stick Thaxton, when you used to go around the country playing hacky sack.
Well, we used to call the Devil Sticks guys. We used to call them sweet guys. So there was the kind of guys who'd be like, "Oh, sweet, sweet." So like,
yeah.
sweet. So the
oh yeah,
sweet
I
guys.
definitely said sweet.
Sweet guys were the sweet. So they were like white Rastafarians that were like Trustafarians, and they were the sweet guys, and they like acted all mellow, but they had like trust funds, and they had different kinds of skis. Like these are my powder skis, these are my bump skis, these are my rock skis, and that's like the sweet guy. And so I would say sweet guy, and then I would call somebody a tool a lot.
Yeah.
But I never
I like
said
Tool.
sweet. I like Tool too. I never said sweet, but a lot of people said, "Oh, sweet, sweet." That
I
always bothered
remember
me.
when sweet. I started hearing that all the time.
Yeah.
I also remember when people in my school started calling cute guys nuggets. Oh, he's a nugget.
okay.
Or a
I haven't
nug.
heard that. I like that.
I don't
Now,
think I
did
heard
no one
that
else
either.
hear? Was that specific to my school?
Well, I didn't
Where'd you
talk
go to
about cute
school?
guys that much.
Where'd you go to school?
I think a girl could be a nugget too. I went to school in Corona Del or I forget if it's in Corona Del Mar or Newport Beach, but
All right, I like
On
a
the
nugget.
border.
Nugget's
The OC.
cute.
I specifically remember a girl named Julie calling. So River Phoenix had been on like the Today Show, and he had long hair.
He was
and
so
she
hot.
said he looked like a nugget with his long hair, and I personally liked his hair shorter. I just
was-
wasn't ready yet for long hair.
He was it. He was it. He was a
He was
nugget. He was a
classic
full nug.
nug and
Total
also
nugs.
hottie.
Dunk
Total
that
nugs. Total nugs. He-
Oh, I
yeah.
would have dunked that nug. I had
Yeah.
a picture of him. I had a big poster of him on my wall.
yeah.
And his shirt was like undone a few buttons. And I remember my mom
Yes.
being like, it's so trashy.
I wrote him a letter.
You did?
I mailed him a letter.
What did it say?
I was like, dear, like my name is Arden Myrin. I'm from Little Compton. Rhode Island. Like I just like basically, if you need to come find me, like here's where you
Rescue
you need to
me,
come get
River.
me. River, listen, I loved you and Stand By Me and Mosquito Coast. Like I felt your vibes. Come to me, River Phoenix. Come to this Barb from Stranger Things looking lady. I need
It's a
you.
night in the life of Jimmy Reardon every night.
That was one of my favorite movies. I also read the book.
I love that movie. I've had 3 people from that movie on my show.
Who?
Ione Skye, Ann Magnuson.
Ione's a nice lady.
She's awesome. She's awesome.
She still looks just like Ione Sky.
Yes, exactly. She has not aged at all.
She's still fully Ione. It's like, oh, that's Ione
Yep.
Sky.
Yep.
Say anything in your eyes.
Yeah, Ann Magnuson and one other one I can't remember. But yeah, it's
Is
like
it
an
the
unusual-
one who what's her? She goes by one name, and she was also in Oh God, Book 2.
Oh, Cher.
No,
I can't remember her name.
I think her name's like Luann or something.
I love this.
Oh, no. I
Anne
don't think
Magnuson is so rad too.
so. She's the best. I love
She's
Anne.
rad. She slaps.
She slaps. She's in a
classic
band.
bop.
They bop.
She slaps.
Yeah.
Anne Magnuson slaps.
So you guys, I have to ask you an important question.
Yeah.
It's on everyone's mind.
I love this.
Last night, I did what I normally do, which is Daniel and I are working our way through The Americans. Have you guys seen it?
No, should I?
No.
I'm doing Schitt's
It's
Creek
actually-
right now.
I have a good story about the Americans.
I can't
Oh.
wait to hear it.
I need to. Oh yeah, let's hear it.
Oh, sorry. There's a guy who plays a child molester in it. I don't know if
Oh, I
you
don't
got
know
that
if I'm
far
there.
yet.
I don't know if I'm there yet. Yeah.
He's a total Boston trash bag, and he was a substitute teacher in my high school.
Where are you from?
I'm from Boston.
Where?
I grew up in Melrose.
All right.
which is a little
I
bit
was
north.
born in Fall River.
Oh, nice. My father
yeah.
grew up in Brockton, and
All right.
my grandmother's family's from Narragansett.
Okay, I'm from Little Compton, Rhode Island, but I went to grammar school in North Dartmouth and high school in Concord. And I learned to drive on 128. I lost my virginity on the South Shore. I got my
Oh, my
first kiss
God.
at Marion.
We had Bob pies, and then we screwed.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
128. Yeah, so he's like this trash bag dude who used to have vanilla
Trash
ice
bag.
hair.
Love it.
And his last name's McCormick, and we used to call him MC Cormick. And he just shows up in The Americans as an actor
Wow.
because they found him in some gym.
Oh, he did an audition. They were like,
No.
"You are so authentic. You look like you've molested children, sir."
I ran into him. I literally ran into him outside of Dunkin' Donuts, and he was mad that the racial slurs that work there wouldn't let him pay with a gift card. And so then he was also
Okay.
like, "What have you been up to?" And I'm like, "Whatever." He's like, "Yeah, I'm on a TV show or some shit." And I was like, "Okay," and he was.
Did he have a big part?
It's a pretty big part in the episode. I don't want to ruin it if Alison hasn't watched the
I
episode
love a
yet.
Massachusetts accent. That's so on brand. Meeting outside of Dunkin' Donut, having some racial slurs, him being
Oh, yeah.
pissed about the gift card. That is like mainlining crack cocaine Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I love
Oh,
every
this
single
guy
interaction.
is like the Greek god of Massachusetts
I love
garbage.
it. Yeah, I love that.
I've never been to Boston. I need
Oh.
to. Given this romantic picture you
Yeah.
paint of
Yeah.
it, I need to
Yeah.
go.
Think of it like Alison Rosen. I'm going to key your fucking car. I'll meet you underneath the water slides. You think you're fucking
Rosen,
you think you're better than me?
What are you, Jewish?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Whatever. All right, you better than me?
Oh, you think you're better than me? You know what? I'm going to pretend you're Italian.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're from the West Coast? Whatever.
Oh, must be nice.
We got Gwen Stefani over here.
Oh,
Must be
okay, Gwen
nice.
Stefani. Oh, look at her ordering broccoli like she's fucking better than me. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Oh,
Love Angel Music, baby.
okay.
I definitely need to go there. It just sounds so refreshing. So anyway, every night we watch The Americans, and lately I've just been very tired. So I've been falling asleep even earlier in the episode than normal, and then Daniel watches the rest of the episode, and then the next day I usually catch up, or he watches it again, which is he's weirdly okay with that. But anyway, my point
Question.
is this. Yes, question.
Do you catch up by watching it, or do you catch up by Daniel telling you what you missed? Because I want to watch that show, just Daniel's recaps.
Oh, but I catch up by watching it. By the way, we have a new recurring Daniel segment. He wasn't prepared for it today, but Daniel has gotten super into beans lately. Our
Cool
house
beans?
is like, what?
Cool beans?
Cool beans.
Some of them are cool. That's actually, I'm glad you asked that question because
Is
it
he like
shows that
soaking beans? Is he soaking beans?
no canned beans. Thus
Okay.
far, yeah,
Okay.
different kinds of canned beans.
Huh.
He hasn't not gotten super into like working with beans. I just mean he's gotten super into eating beans.
Okay. How's that
I see
going
where
for
this
you?
is going. I
How's
see
this
where this
going?
is
How's
going.
this going for you?
He has also this came out on a recent Patreon episode, so I don't feel that I'm talking out of school. He's also purchased Beano.
Okay.
Ah, yeah.
Now I have a story for you.
Okay.
My now husband Dan also likes beans, and it was after I feel like there was an earthquake. This was a while. This was early on in our.
How many beans did he eat?
He ate a lot of fucking beans. Cool beans. This was early on in our courtship, and there was like some kind of an earthquake or something. So when there's an earthquake, I panic. And I'm like, I gotta go to Trader Joe's. I gotta go to Gelson's. I gotta go buy beans. Like in my mind, I'm like, I need peanut butter and I need beans. I need water. Like, and I need like a BB gun or something. So I go to Gelson's, prepping like an earthquake supply kit. So I had the beans were not for me to eat, but I'd been eating healthy salads and stuff, and I'd been real gassy. And I think I bought like 40 cans of beans, and then I had like 8 or 10 bottles of Beano that I was, and I looked like I was planning the most fucked up bender. Like that, it was almost like, hey lady, maybe don't binge on those 40 cans of beans. Like, maybe your body, like, I wasn't going to eat the beans. Everything else I was eating was upsetting my stomach, but it was like, it looked like I had a long weekend in an Airbnb plan of me and these beans.
Putting the B&B in B&B.
I
hotboxing myself. Just fully hotboxing
Should have been like,
myself.
I'm having a birthday party for my son.
I simultaneously love and hate when your grocery purchases tell a story. Like,
Dude.
You should have also bought toilet paper.
It was sad.
So Daniel's been getting into eating beans, and he has opinions about the different kinds of beans and the different brands. So he's going to start doing bean reviews on the show. So I forget why I mentioned. I mentioned that because you want his recaps. No, I watch it myself.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be mansplained to on my recaps.
Yeah.
But anyway, every night I fall asleep, and it's a point where I could just go to bed, but instead I just let myself fall asleep in the chair because I'm just like, oh, it'd be in the chair. It's a recliner and it'd be so comfortable. And then I drag myself to bed, and I'm like, it's so painful, and I fall into bed. I actually, in this state, I brush my teeth and stuff, and then fall into bed. And I'm so like dead to the world, tired at that point. And then I sleep like shit because that's how I sleep. But I was thinking, some people just put themselves in bed before they're like incapacitated with fatigue. What do you guys do?
Pass out on the couch. Fully.
Okay.
Nothing makes me happier than passing out in front of a television. I know it's not the best. I know it's probably not good. It's not good bedtime habits. It's so comforting to just drift off while you're trying to stay awake for your program. I love passing out in front of the television. And then there is that like dragging, like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta go. The moving is a big move, but I find those first few moments sleeping on the couch to be the most peaceful of the night.
Oh, yeah. Wrapped in a nice blanket. Like,
I
I theorize
love it.
that my dogs give off some kind of pheromones that make me fall asleep.
Love it.
Because I'll get on the couch with them and I'm out, like, instantly.
Love it.
Then I can't
sounds so
sleep in my bed.
happy. All of this sounds so happy to me.
That feeling of letting myself fall asleep in a chair or on the couch in front of the TV is similar to the feeling of like, you know what? I'm not going to get up when my alarm goes off. I've decided I don't need to do whatever it is. I'm just going to let myself go back to sleep. It's like giving yourself a little like vacation reprieve. Tony Zoni.
Tone zone. Toneroni. Tony.
I'm sorry. It's going to
Your
stick.
father-
I'm sorry.
Does your father own Tonzoni's in Providence?
I love the Tone Zonies.
Oh, my God. The Tonzoni's are good people.
The Tone Zonies are good people. Their cousin got my sister pregnant. But
Oh, he's a hot shit. That guy's a hot shit.
He's got very, very virile. Tone Zoni, do you do that? Do you pass out?
I don't. I cannot sleep unless I am laying down.
Do you think you're better than us?
I wish that I could because
I'll help you lay down.
I toured.
Must be nice.
I toured
Must be
heavily
nice.
for over a decade, and I would do international flights and stuff. And to fly to Australia and stuff like that, and not be able to sleep is terrible.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, I for some reason my body does not let me. It's like every now and then I might start to fall asleep, and it's like the second I do, I like jolt up. It's like my body's like, "What are you doing? You can't be doing this."
Can I ask you a question?
You just
Tony,
did.
Are you well? I feel like you're better rested than the three of us. I feel like you don't need the garbage naps like we do.
I'm definitely not a napper.
Are you well rested?
I don't know if I would go that far. I used to sleep a ton, but then it was like clockwork. When I hit 40, I started waking up early. Like I would wake up at like 7 every day. That has become a
Prostate?
newer thing.
Yeah.
Having to But I pretty much no matter what time I go to sleep these days, which is usually not like, I don't know, 1 might be the latest, but
potty
Okay.
animal.
but waking
Okay,
up, but I'll still
okay.
wake up between like 7 and 8 every day, even if I'm up that late.
So you just take your pretty awake self, get ready for bed, and then put that body in bed?
Put your
No,
nightcap
I have to
on.
be ready to go to sleep because I know myself, and if I'm not one of those people that it's like, oh, I have to get up early tomorrow, I should go to bed. Like, I can't go to bed unless I'm tired.
What do you wear to bed?
A nightgown and a man's flannel night.
Yeah, with
shirt.
the little
Nightgown?
cap. And I bring
Do you have a candle?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that might be the key here.
I know. I feel like I got to invest in some like a Christmas carol, a Christmas story night shirts.
You're putting on a sleep uniform. You know, you got to take the time.
I envy people that I envy people that wake up early. I don't know. Sleep has tortured me for so many years. That
This was one of the things. So Arden has a book coming out, which everyone should go get if you heard the Monday show, because it is Arden Week.
Arden Week.
you know what I
You know,
heard? I
shit.
really heard the word week in that, and I appreciated that. I really heard the word week, and I loved it.
I hate to be a nitpicker, but it sounded like week, WEAK. If you could do it over so it's like the right week.
Yeah, I thought he was calling me week. Wait a minute, she's talking about my book. She's talking about my book. Yes.
Little Miss
Little Miss Little
Compton.
Compton. Little Miss
comes
Little
out September
Compton.
29th, but it's available for pre-order at ardenmyrinbook.com. Is that right?
That's right. Or we have a book release party that's online that you can come to this Saturday night. It's at dynastytypewriter.com. It's going to be also a comedy show. It's me and Lauren Lapkus. She's Missy from The Wrong Missy, Brian Safi from Throwing Shade, and Rob Benedict from Supernatural. And you can get your book through the Dynasty Typewriter website, and you can get it custom signed to you. So I could be like, Dear Tone Zone, I admire your sleep habits. I could just write that in. Or, Dear Ken, will you Venmo me $17,000? Whatever you want me to write out, I'll write out in your book.
It'd be a weird thing for Ken to want you to write, but hey, no judgment. So anyway, that was one of the things that made me feel so bonded to you in your book was your not inability, but
it's
you
an
and I have
inability.
similar bad sleep habits and are similarly not morning people.
It sucks. It's really, if you are I feel like morning people have really gotten the lockdown on sort of the smug, like, my biology is such, and has been since I flew onto Earth. I am a night owl, and it's hard to the daytime people have the lockdown. I'm like, this is it. Early bird gets the worm. You're a loser. If like the commercials are geared like you. Hey, loser, it's your life. Hey, loser. We know you're depressed. We know you have hypertension. Like, I feel that there's magic in the late hours, but it's tortured me. It's because I want to be like everybody else that I'm not. Are you a night owl?
Me?
Yeah.
Personally, I am not so much a night, like my husband, aforementioned bean eater. He is a true night owl, and he really struggles with getting up in the morning. I prefer to go to bed late and to sleep in.
Yeah.
But if oftentimes, and this probably speaks to something else, if I had a paper due in college, I would pull an all-nighter, or I would go to sleep a little bit and then wake up at 4 a.m. and write it. So I can be productive in those very, very early morning hours, whereas I I lose productivity as it gets later and later. But I just naturally I like to sleep in, and I have trouble sleeping, so I'm always tired.
So if you go on vacation, let's say you and Danny Beans, let's say you guys go to Hawaii for a week. You can do anything you want. You've got great nannies. You don't need to worry about your kids are in good hands. Somebody's taking care of it's just you just living your best life. What time do you? And breakfast buffet will be available at any time, whenever you wake up. When do you want to get up?
10 a.m.
I love that for you.
What about you guys? Same situation. You also have everything taken care of. You're in Hawaii and you can sleep till whenever.
I'd like to get up at 10. I might sleep till noon. I'd like to get up at 10 because I think I'd feel better about myself if I got up at 10 and maybe went to the buffet at 11, like pitter-patter around before I go. Mm-hmm. That would be an ideal, maybe 10:30. I fear left to my own devices I could go farther. Kenzalin.
Well, I got news for you. I got the best of both worlds in
Talk to
that I stay up real late and get up real early.
Are you tired?
Oh yes, I've had horrible insomnia my whole life. Like until I was in my 20s, I only slept like 2 hours a night.
Me too. Night. I think I would have done better in school if I had any
absolutely,
sleep.
me too. Yeah,
I could not pay attention.
It was bad.
Were you guys falling asleep in class? Because I remember a teacher pulling me aside and saying that she noticed that I seemed really tired and like, was everything okay?
I went to go see, we went on a field trip to go see Macbeth at the North Shore Music Circus.
Sure.
In the round.
Sure.
And so I fall asleep apparently immediately. Like as soon as the lights go down, I fall asleep with my head on like a pole. That's
no Little Shop of Horrors, too. It's Macbeth. No. I mean, let's be real.
But I wake up and it's the end of the play and there's a guy holding someone's head screaming.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Spoiler.
what? Yeah.
Spoiler
I know. Sorry,
alert.
everybody. And the head was this guy from the Dunkin' Donuts. No, so my teacher was like, Ken, what'd you think of the play? And I was like, oh, it's pretty good. And she goes, yeah, I might believe you if you didn't sleep through the whole intermission.
Oh, my God. You couldn't even get up. I will tell you this, my brother, and my mother all independently saw different productions of Les Mis. All of us slept through all of the productions of Les Mis.
Yeah. You know where I used to fall asleep at? I used to hang out at this place called The Rat in Kenmore Square, which was like our CBGBs.
Sure.
I would fall asleep at punk shows.
I mean,
wow.
Like in the sound booth.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I remember school was like, when I think about high school, it was mostly a battle of like trying to keep my eyelids open. Like I don't remember taking
hands and the...
like I don't remember actually taking in any information besides do I seem upright? Like that was the main. The sheer fact that I passed is I don't know how I passed.
It was also that warm sleep that comes over you, like if you've taken a Benadryl. It was like that, like it just feels like it's like a warm bath you're slipping into.
You're like, I must, sweet release of sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. I envy people that are well rested. Once in a blue moon, when I really just let myself sleep in for a few hours in the day, I'm like, some people feel like that a lot. I fool people because I seem high energy and people are like, oh, you must never. It's like, oh my God, you have no idea. Like they think
Are you overcompensating?
No, I think it's like, I think that's just my personality, but I don't think they realize how exhausted I am. I do get crazy at night. No matter how tired I am, I'm pretty fun at night. It's like a natural, like the machine starts and it's on.
Completely lost my train of thought.
I think you're doing great and you're contouring. Did you contour anything else?
I did a little cheek. Thank you. I did a little cheek contouring.
You look good.
I normally do that, but it's more the.
You're a pretty lady.
Thank you very much.
True story.
What the hell was I going to say? It was
You're talking about sleeping?
I know what I was going to say. But we got to find out Tony's Hawaii time. But what I was going to say was when I had kids, when I had Elliot, when I had my first kid, I realized this thing where I'm trying to sleep in is not going to work anymore because I would like put him in a swing and then I would just try to get just a couple more minutes. And then I had this crying baby and he was just so immature at that time. So anyway, I just completely switched my schedule and I started going to sleep at 10 and I would get up really early and I really felt like I had discovered like a secret to life and I felt so productive and like around the time noon rolled around when I had, but it didn't last. But for that time I was like, oh my God, because there really is that thing of like, if you sleep, when I sleep in, I wake up and I'm like, oh, what did I miss? I'm a
What
loser.
did I miss? I'm a loser.
Whereas,
I'm a loser.
if I get up early, it's like, look at me,
Yes.
making the most of the day, even though all I'm doing is just getting up early.
It's literally the self-talk. I feel like if I had gotten up earlier, like all of a sudden you're like, I'm Sheryl Sandberg. Look at me, I'm leaning into life. Rather than like, I'm a fucking loser. I'm a piece of shit, and everybody knows it. Like
I got nowhere to even go.
Ken, what's your Hawaii time?
Oh, I would probably fall asleep around like 2.
Yeah.
And probably be up around 6.
But let's say your body clock will let you sleep in. You can sleep until whenever you want, Ken.
I've
When you
never
wanna get
slept
up.
past 9 a.m.
That's awful.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's
Tone
bad.
Zone,
Never?
what's your Hawaii?
No.
If I'm in Hawaii, I will say
Don't
even
adjust for time zone.
Yeah, Big Island.
What?
Big
Don't adjust for time zone?
Big Island.
Yeah, because I was going to
You're
say
on
I
Tone
definitely-
Zone.
Oh, sorry. Adjust for time. What I mean is, don't do the naturally I would sleep till this time, but they
Well,
are
I
on a
need
different
3
time.
days to
Yeah.
acclimate.
Yeah,
to
you've already acclimated. You're fully
Yes.
acclimated. What's the tone zone happening? What's the sleep schedule of the tone zone?
Tone zone are you in?
I will
What tone
say-
zone are you in?
I love Hawaii so much that I feel like when I'm there, I'm very excited to be there, and I think
Oh,
it
way
kind
to
of
brag
causes
about going
me
to Hawaii.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I've been
Must
several
be
times.
nice.
No big
Must
deal.
be nice. He's going to get up early and go on that catamaran. I can feel it.
Oh, what are
He's
you
going
gonna go?
scuba diving. He's going
Gonna go on a
snorkeling.
volcano?
Oh, you going to go snorkeling off of the catamaran?
Oh, I went up and I climbed on top of Haleakala.
I met a guy named Pulu Coco and we went spearfishing. Okay.
Oh, I make my own puka shell jam.
Okay, wait. Let me guess. He's going to get up at 8.
Probably before then, honestly.
Get a swim in.
What?
Yeah. I just
On
I-
vacation.
yeah,
You're on
'Cause,
vacation, Tone.
it's two things. Because, like I said, I just when I turned 40, I just became a person that wakes up early no matter what. It's kind of annoying, but I kind of like it at the same time.
My exhales are really just jealousy. This is not. I am nothing but green with envy over here. That I believe that you would execute that and wouldn't have any residual funk later in the day. Whereas I'd be like, look at me all fancy, and now I hate myself, and it's 1 p.m. You can't win, really. You can't win. There's no right answer. 9? I don't know what the right answer is.
My dad used to get up and drive to work at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And then sit in the parking lot for 2 hours till they actually let him in the building because he didn't want to sit in traffic. And then I was telling my wife that, and she's just like, yeah, he hated your family.
Yeah, that's such a Massachusetts dad move. That's such a Massachusetts dad move.
Yeah, because this would have been, he's not getting there and looking at his phone.
No, he's sitting in the car.
Yeah.
Although one morning he found a snapping turtle on the way to work, and he hid it under his boss's desk, and it bit his boss in the dick.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and he had to pretend it wasn't him and just pretend this thing just somehow got into Raytheon.
Hang on, how did it?
I know Raytheon. There's a lot of Raytheon in Newport.
Yeah.
How did this
Raytheon?
turtle get to his dick?
Yeah, why the dick and not the ankle?
He put it under the desk. They were like big snapping turtles, and the guy pulled his chair in, and it just like their necks extend like a.
Well, that's a big. So we're not talking like a little tiny turtle.
Oh no! This is like
Not a
he
box
put it in
turtle.
the back of the truck of his truck, like it was crossing
Oh my
the
god,
road.
that must have killed his dick.
Yeah.
Wow, can you imagine
yeah.
the surprise you would feel when your dick got
How did a
bit,
snapping
and then
turtle
looking down and there's a snapping turtle biting your dick, and then knowing that your dad is the one who executed that? Wow.
Or like his wife thinks he's having an affair. He's like, "Honey, there was a snapping turtle."
Yeah, why is your
under
dick black
my
and blue?
desk.
Why is your dick?
I
why is your-
swear.
Did your dad hate your boss or just like pranks?
Oh, he just pranks. I think.
I love a prank, but I'm not good at it. I'm so excited by a prank that I'm like, you know what I mean? I was like, I did a prank. I have no capacity to do a prank.
He almost got fired for a prank once because he bought a fart machine,
Yep.
bringing it back to the beans.
Classic.
And he taped it under the conference table, and it was remote control. And he was pressing it, and then he couldn't get it to stop. And one of the guys in the meeting had IBS
No.
and thought, or colitis or something, and thought that he was actually having some kind of problem. And
Excuse
when
me.
so they thought that's me. They thought my dad was making fun of him.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my god. I love your dad.
Yeah.
Listen, you guys. If you think you may be depressed or you're feeling anxious, stressed, or overwhelmed, BetterHelp offers licensed professional counselors who are trained to listen and to help. Talk with your counselor in a private online environment at your own convenience from wherever you're comfortable. BetterHelp counselors have expertise in a broad range of areas such as anxiety, grief, depression, relationships, difficulty sleeping, LGBT matters, family conflicts, so much more. BetterHelp can give you access to help that you may not be available in your area. Simply fill out a questionnaire to help assess your specific needs and get matched with your counselor in under 48 hours. Join the million-plus people taking charge of their mental health. If for any reason you're unhappy with your counselor, you can request a new one at any time at no additional charge. BetterHelp is an affordable option, and our listeners get 10% off your first month with the discount code BESTFRIEND. Get started today at betterhelp.com/bestfriend. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/bestfriend. Talk to a therapist online and get help. Also want to talk to you guys about Brooklinen. You've probably heard us talk about Brooklinen before. I currently sleep on Brooklinen sheets, and I dry myself off with a super plush Brooklinen towel. Tone Zone also has Brooklinen towels, do you not?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do.
They're the best. So Brooklinen is home of the internet's favorite sheets. They also have amazing towels. They give your daily routine a little something extra. The towels with varying levels of plushness. The towel of your dreams is waiting to wrap you up. If you're looking for a way to turn your bathroom into a miniature spa, Brooklinen has got you covered. It's the perfect Brooklinen is the perfect place to find all the comforts for home, including ultra soft towels. They're so confident in their product that everything comes with a lifetime warranty. Use promo code BESTFRIEND for 10% off your first order at brooklinen.com. That's Brooklinen, BROOKLINEN.com. Promo code BESTFRIEND. Brooklinen, everything you need to live your most comfortable life.
Hey, Brooke Linen, you want to send me some linens? I designed my friend's house. I love interior design. You can look it up on Los Angeles Times. There's a whole article. I renovated and I contracted and designed my own house, and people have hired me to do their houses. Because of the ad on Alison's podcast, I was like, oh, what was that linen? So I looked it up and I ordered a bunch of linens from Brooklinen for my friend's house, and they're beautiful.
I hope you used my code.
I should have. I did. Of course I used your code. Obviously I used your code. And they're beautiful linens. So
They're
Brooke
really
Linen,
nice.
you can send her this blonde lady happily.
Yeah.
I loved them.
Send Arden some Brooklinen sheets.
Come on. I love it.
Brooklinen.
I'll take good
You know
care
you
of
want
you.
to.
I'll use them again in somebody else's house. I'll tell everybody about them.
I'll re-gift these.
What were you going to say, Ken?
Did you say I'll use them again in someone else's house? Like I'll re-gift them?
No, I've been designing houses.
Keep getting them.
Yes.
Keep doing it.
I'm going to regift. I'll use them again. I'll give them to somebody else's house.
And now it is time for an important update. Regular listeners of this show know for a while I was doing termite updates because I had a little bit of a termite situation in this pod cabin, and I solved it myself, and I felt so proud of that. But I also felt I doubted it. Thank you. I doubted it. So I needed to give a weekly update until finally the Commission of North American Podcasts came to my door and the audience demanded that I stop. Turns out, save for a few people, or maybe no people, no one wanted to hear it. But I needed to get it off my chest. Yeah. So I tabled the termite updates. For a little while, we were doing mosquito updates.
Well, to be, if I can interrupt real quick, I feel like for a long time, the termite updates were still no termites.
That's still an update.
Thank you.
That's an update. That's a success.
All
That's
right.
a success.
Can I pitch you a spin-off podcast called Termite?
I like it.
Just
Yes.
termite updates?
Yes. You can. I can unveil that when we unveil Daniel's Bean podcast, too, that needs a better name than that.
You got a network now.
Cool beans. It's cool beans.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Cool Beans. Okay. Is it KEWL or are we doing a classic?
No, KEWL for sure.
Okay,
Cool beans.
Yeah.
With a Z.
Yeah.
Cool Beans.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a podcast wherein my husband discusses eating beans, I would hate it, given the name and the title.
Yeah.
But instead, I love it.
What if you call it
So-
Daniel's Cool Beans?
Oh, I like that. That's
Daniel's
good.
cool beans.
Daniel's cool beans. Okay, so also there was a whole, like, the mosquitoes have been bad, but I now have a new update. Today I was in my studio checking out the termite situation, making sure we're still good. We are. When something, or rather 3 things, caught my eye. It was 3 tiny, thin, black, dried up worms.
No.
How are worms? But, like, they look like they've been dead for a long time, but I don't think they were here yesterday. My studio is not worm tight. I want to die.
Like
How
earthworms?
What?
Like earthworms?
Well, I don't. Okay, my earthworm. I don't know my different worms. They were
So
like
how
maybe
big are they?
an 1.5 inches long. And very thin. I almost thought maybe they were like twist ties or something, but no, they were
I want to tell
worms.
you, Allison, I've
Yes.
been to your beautiful podcast studio.
Yeah.
I also have a studio. Mine is an old garage. I think that's the deal. I think we get things crawling in when we have sort of outbuildings. I think that's the deal. I've
Gross.
got things that come in, crawl in.
What kind of things do you have?
Oh, I've got so many spiders. I've had ants. Yeah, things.
Hey,
I think when
Buck,
it's
no. Hey, no.
That's right. So you
But-
definitely I would say I think if it's not like a sealed raised house that's up a little, you step up a couple stairs to go get into. I think that's just Mother Nature.
And worms aren't going to bug you. See, I was just curious if they were like larvae, if they were like the discarded carcasses of 3 things that are now insects.
Oh. If they were smaller, I would think maybe they could be. And I only know that because one of my listeners, Demian, is a exterminator, and he asked if something that I showed him was the larva of a crane fly.
Did it taste like one?
No, it tasted nutty.
Okay, yeah, that's not
Yeah.
a cream fly then.
Yeah.
But I don't know. These seem too big to be larvae, but maybe they are. But I hear what you're saying, Arden. Like, they were here long before us. We're just borrowing their land.
I don't like it, and I'm on a mission. But I do think sometimes I just have to do like a sweep before, particularly like Katie Levine, my producer of my podcast, hates. Like, I have to come do like a sweep before she arrives when it's not pandemic time.
I am surprised that she hates bugs because she's such a cruelty-free person.
She's a tough lady. She freaks out for like spiders. So I don't kill them. I'll put them in the glass. I'll slide the paper on. I'll bring them outside. I'll launch them like far away. Like, I don't kill them, but she can't deal if they're in, like, she freaks out. So I have to sort of scoop things up and move them outside. I don't kill. She wouldn't want me killing them.
The only
Go ahead.
I was going to say the only time I've had like a thing that freaked me out was when I was in California and there was a scorpion in my shower.
Oh, I don't like that.
I don't like that.
No. And I
don't
asked
like
people,
that.
I'm like, is this a thing? And people were like, no. And I'm like, maybe someone's trying to kill me.
I don't like that. I wouldn't like that.
Oh, you think your dad slipped it in there?
He might have, yeah.
Your dad. He was going for
The
your
scorpion,
dick, but
yeah.
he got rid of the
Yeah.
scorpion.
Damn this thing, the scorpion stings me.
Yeah.
Right in the dick.
Yeah, the scorpion's
yeah.
stung you in the dick.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like that.
It's like a bull.
Speaking of dads, this is one of my patented excellent segues. As a parent, worrying is in your job description, but what are the right things to worry about? Ancestry Health can help you cross a few things off your list when it comes to your family's inherited health risks. With their most advanced genetic testing technology, next generation sequencing, Ancestry Health is now better at determining if you're at lower risk for some commonly inherited conditions linked to breast cancer, colon cancer, and heart disease. Wouldn't it be nice not to worry about that? Your inherited health risks don't have to stay unknown. Learn if you're at lower or higher risk for some commonly inherited conditions linked to breast cancer, colon cancer, and heart disease with Ancestry Health. Find out what your DNA says about genetic risk with Ancestry Health. Head to my URL at ancestry.com/bestfriend to get your Ancestry Health Kit today. That's ancestry.com/bestfriend. Okay, so just one more thing about the worm situation.
Could you send them for DNA testing?
I should.
You should find out.
Unfortunately, they are wrapped inside a Kleenex at the bottom of the trash.
Gross.
But I could still get them. I
You
could
could
get them
get
out. I hear what you're saying, Arden, but I just want to know, are they like sliming in through the front door, or are they coming in like through the walls? Because the front door is more acceptable, because that is where people and things come in.
You have a
If they're
concrete
slithering
floor? I
through the
forget.
walls, that's so awful.
They come up through the floor normally.
How do they do that? So, because I have my where I am now is an old garage. It's a concrete floor that I've painted white, so it looks cute in here, but it is an old garage. So how do they get in through the floor if it's concrete?
Yeah.
Well, they go through like around the foundation, and there's cracks in that concrete.
The
especially
baseboard.
And I know it hasn't rained there. Like here, if it rains, the next day when it dries out, there's worms everywhere.
Where are you?
I'm in just north of Boston.
Oh my God, you're still there. I love that.
I'm still here, yeah. So they like float up, but that's obviously not the case there. That was the first thing I thought of, because especially the concrete, because it like wicks.
No,
Like-
but I can't speak for Arden's garage, but I can speak for my pod cabin. It gets wet every night. Everything is wet every night. Not the floor in here, but underneath it probably is.
It's a WAP. It's a wet ass podcast studio.
Slop.
It slaps. It slaps. I mean, mine doesn't get wet every night, but if it rains a lot, if we have just days of rain, I will get like little puddly pools on the floor. And I think, yes, if I'm looking, I think it could, I think they could get in through the doors, and I guess it's a garage. Things will find their way in. I don't love it. I also have like an air conditioner, so maybe, I don't know.
Oh.
Right?
I feel like if worms were like coming in through the vents, I would notice. Oh, you were talking about bugs, though.
Worms live in the ground. Like they,
Ken, you think?
like they
Oh,
are
you think it
crawling
better
up
than me,
your-
Ken? You think it better than me? You don't think my worm can fly? Just
I
like
got a worm will come down your chimney like fucking Santa Claus.
I got a turtle that's gonna bite your boss's dick. Yeah,
That turtle's a dick biter.
your dad's turtle's a total boss dick biter.
All right. I've got another gal chat question.
Yeah.
I need to hear the drop. Arden,
Yeah.
your teeth are so white.
Are they?
Yes, they are. What is what's the dental story here?
I can't use it anymore, but I was using like the Crest 3D whitening toothpaste, but it's given me canker sores. And also it like ruined my enamel or like the gum line. So
It hurts.
yeah, so I use it. I would say so. Now I'm like just on Sensodyne, but yeah, I don't do trays or anything. It's literally, but that 3D Crest white, like, and you do the one that's like 90% whiter. I'll rotate that in every 3 or 4 months and give myself some canker sores.
Wait, now you say it's destroying the enamel of the gum line. What's happening? Because I am also having enamel loss. This is the sexiest podcast.
Yeah.
I also am having some enamel loss.
I mean, I think I naturally have, like, my mom had a lot of gum issues, so I feel like it runs. I've got a little periodontal issues in the old mouth skis, but I think the dentist is like the main culprit is the whitening toothpaste, which I used for years.
That is so interesting because all those whitening things claim to be easy on the enamel.
I don't think they want you to use them every day for 4 years. I think it's supposed to be rotated in and out. So I think if used according to like doctor's orders, maybe they're fine once in a while. They do work. I mean, I have not bleached my teeth. This is all and I had kind of stained coffee teeth, so it works.
Wow.
But it will. Don't do it as often as I did it.
And then I also wanted to ask, on your book cover, you're wearing braces.
Oh, yeah.
How did you guys do that?
Thank you for asking. Well, because I wanted the cover to be the one that's on my puzzle. Like, I wanted it to be my 6th grade photo. And they said, no, we want people to recognize you. So then I recreated my 6th grade photo, the exact same outfit, holding my cat. And I found this woman who works on, what's that show that Zendaya's on? Euphoria. So she does makeup on Euphoria and she does prosthetics and stuff. So she did like it. They're like, I had like a mold made in my mouth and she made me a full set of braces that's almost like a retainer up and down. So I had braces made that I could pop in, so that I did that for the, I thought was going to be the book cover, which was my 6th grade photo. But I knew I had to give them options, and I didn't want to be like lady comedian in a pretty dress, which I was like, I knew they were going to pick those. So I was like, it's got to be a little bit weirder than that. So I threw the braces in because I was like, I don't want just a boring. I wanted it to be fun. And that's who wrote the book. I like the operating system of my inner 12-year-old, you know?
Do you still have them? You ever throw them on just for fun?
Of course I have them. Oh, yeah. I'm going to use those for sure. Yeah, I totally have them. Not cheap.
Yeah.
Not cheap.
I would imagine.
Yeah. She handcrafted them.
Wow. I was like, is it Photoshop or no?
No.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Practical.
Yeah, it's before CGI.
Practical
Did you
effects.
guys watch the Emmys at all last night?
I watched all of
No.
them. I thought they did a good job.
That's what I was going to ask. What did you think? I only caught I now have a child who periodically decides he will only be communicating in whine, grunt, or moan, and he won't eat.
Great.
And it's like he is possessed.
Okay.
And then he'll calm down and eat something and be normal again. So that took up a lot of my time. I know that you guys don't have kids, but for any listeners, help. What do I do? And yes, I do host a parenting podcast. I don't know what to do, though. I think it's just a phase. But anyway.
Have you tried an exorcism, though?
I have not. Maybe someone could come drive the worms away.
Yeah.
And drive the demons out of my child.
I love
This makes
for you.
so much sense. Like,
I love
you got
this
the
for you.
Amityville horror, flies and worms.
Yep.
Your kid's possessed.
Thank
like,
you.
this is all the same problem.
All the same problem.
It might all. I know we're joking, and I don't believe in anything, but I think it might actually be all the same problem.
Yeah, for sure. All the same problem.
Yeah.
Like, I probably shouldn't have bundled up those worms in a tissue and thrown them out. I probably
no.
should have.
Those
done
might have been
something.
Indian burial worms.
Yeah, for sure. What part of the Emmys did you see?
I caught the end of it.
I felt like, particularly at the beginning, I thought Jimmy did I mean, like, what are you going to do? It's a freaking pandemic. I thought he did a really good job hosting. To me, I thought it was fun. You know, the first part was crazy because it literally, Schitt's Creek won, I'm not even exaggerating, every single comedy award. So it won actor, actress, best actress, director, script, and show. So it literally, and because you're not in this theater, they were all in this like tent together in Canada. So it literally was the same group again and again and again and again and again and again. Which was, I mean, by the way, it's a great show and they're great, but like, I thought it was fun. I thought it was I thought he did a good job and it was charming. You caught the less fun part. You caught the sort of draggier part.
Maybe I'll go back and watch it. I am happy that Schitt's Creek won all that. I did see some people tweeting stuff like they wished that other shows had won a little more, blah, blah, blah. But I thought I really enjoyed Schitt's Creek.
Maybe those shows should have been better.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, even Daniel Levy said it. He was like, oh, now the internet's going to turn on me. It was almost like goodwill. Okay, now it's just too much. You think you're better than like it was like too many. Like, and he knows how the internet works. Like, they love you until you get like one too many, and then they're going to want to rip you down like that. So,
Is that the first time that's happened?
I think they said it's happened a couple times. They said 30 Rock did a sweep once, apparently. And then there was some other show they said also did a sweep. But apparently Daniel won more than any person had won in one night because he won for screenplay, directing, acting.
He won 4.
Yeah, he won screenplay, directing, acting, and it's his show. So that he won 4. Apparently, no person's won 4 before.
Wow.
And then my other, do you have the excuse me, lost the ability to talk, which is quite a hindrance when you're hosting a show. Do you have the TV talk jingle? Since we are talking TV.
Do.
TV time. TV time. TV time. TV time. TV time. TV time. TV time.
Have you guys seen The Social Dilemma?
Yes.
Which is on Netflix.
Yes.
And I started hearing people talk about it, saying that it makes you want to get off social media. It'll make you like delete your Facebook. Facebook is actually one that I don't have a problem with. I'm hardly ever on it, but I am addicted to Twitter and Instagram. And I watched it and I thought it was really good. And it does, while I was watching it, I recommend it. While I was watching it, I noticed how much my fingers like felt itchy and wanted to go check and scroll. Like I am so addicted.
It definitely reminded me of when I saw Super Size Me. People either never wanted McDonald's again, or I remember my brother and I both specifically wanted that quarter pounder with cheese that Morgan Spurlock threw up. That he left, like he took one bite. There was still like half of it left. We both wanted to go right to McDonald's and get a quarter pounder with cheese.
Just smell it.
I just like you go one way or the other. You're like never again, or like give me that freaking. And I also felt itchy trigger finger. I was aware of my addiction.
Maybe that's what it is. Like, I remember I dated this guy who was sober, but he was always like interested in talking about drugs or like looking at a bag of pot. And I didn't understand that.
Right.
But, or like smelling pot. I think that it's that there was all these glamorous shots of the thing I'm addicted to.
Right. You're like, oh, there's my precious baby looking so good. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, look at that DM. I'm getting some notifications. Ooh, it is that dopamine firing off. Of like, oh, look how many likes you got. Why that one get likes and the other one, I thought the other one would get likes, but that one, okay, cool.
You know what? I downloaded one of those casino apps, like those, like it's like a free slot machine app with not worth real money.
Yeah.
Just to do that instead of scrolling Twitter.
Wow.
Does it work?
Did it work?
It's the same thrill, yeah. And at least I'm not like getting in an argument with somebody.
Oh, that's smart.
Social Dilemma makes that point that that thing where you pull down and it refreshes is like the same thing as a slot machine.
Mm-hmm. I actually had to get I know it's a day late, but I get the physical newspaper. I get the New York Times delivered every morning, so I do not go online first thing, because I found my brain, once it hooks in, it doesn't do great things for me. So I needed I know I'm not fully up to date. I know more stuff has happened since this got printed and delivered. And I just picked the New York just because I'm from the East Coast, and that's what my parents got. The LA Times, wherever. Lots of things are good, but it's just a physical paper to hold in my hand, because I'm aware once I'm in for the day, once I'm locked in, I lose time, and I can't even imagine growing up with that. Like, we didn't even have that through the formative years. It's tough, man.
I know. And a lot of the experts interviewed who worked on all these programs say they won't allow their kids screen time, or they won't allow them social media. Yeah, I know. It really got me thinking, when can I even think of a day that has gone by where I haven't engaged with social media? I can't even think of one. Like, it's part of every single day of my life. What a waste.
I was off of Twitter for 2 full years until last week. I did not know my password. So Anna would tweet for me, my friend Anna, if I had to tweet. I hadn't looked at it. I couldn't get, like, if I would see if somebody DM'd me, and then I would have her go reply. And because the book's coming out, I was like, okay, I need to operate my Twitter and have access. And it was nice not having another social. It was nice having that break. I will probably take it again.
How did you get your friend to do this for you? What kind of arrangement is this?
She was just really sweet. I never tweeted that much. I'm not super active on Twitter. She changed my password for me, and She's a producer on my podcast. So it's mostly just like, hey, will you tweet out if we have a podcast or whatever. But I felt like Twitter just got so, to me, Instagram is so nice, and I like looking at pictures, and I'm a visual. I like visual things, and I felt like Twitter was a little mean for me, and I just didn't have it in me.
Mm-hmm. I weirdly find that Instagram is affects my mood more than Twitter. Twitter feels like it's silly and stupid, and it pushes my buttons, and it certainly doesn't make me feel better necessarily. But Instagram, just because of like feeling FOMO or feeling competitive, not as much now, but feeling competitive or feeling like, oh wow, hooray for you, even though I should be happy for you, like stuff that I'm not proud of those feelings, but that I can feel. I feel Instagram makes me feel worse about myself than Twitter does.
I've found since lockdown, for some reason, maybe I'm just noticing it more, but like I feel, this will sound overly dramatic, but like existentially lonely when I'm on social media.
Wow, I like that.
But I still go on, like I'm still on it. Like for some reason, it makes me feel incredibly like isolated.
I like this. I mean, I don't like that that's how you feel, but I relate to that. I hadn't fully identified that, but I like, now that you say that, I was like, I guess I kind of feel the same way too.
And I don't know what that is, but it's like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, do you feel existentially lonely?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When I'm on, yeah, I mean, sort of, sometimes. It's weird though, like, I don't live alone. And also like to the discussion of like being up late at night, like one of my favorite things in the world, and always has been since I was a kid, is to be like in a dark room at like 3 a.m. by myself watching a movie.
I love to be alone late at night. I love it.
Yeah, it's just so still, and it's like comforting in a weird way.
It's magic hours because nobody's expecting you to be anywhere. It's like stolen time, and that's how they make things. Yeah. But
like on social media, it's a bad lonely.
Yeah.
It's like the more people you're seeing, the more isolated and detached I feel, which is like the opposite of what it's supposed to be.
Right.
Yeah. It's kind of the alone in a crowd feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they were saying in the movie, that they were saying like literally starting in 2011, which is right when like Twitter and Instagram sort of like that, they've seen spikes in young teenage girls and teenagers in general, and then like preteen girls from like 10 to 14, like spikes in depression rates, and then spikes in suicide rates or attempted suicide rates, like spikes. Mm-hmm. And I think for so many things, whether it's what you're supposed, like what the norm is, what you're supposed to be doing, or somebody making a mean comment on your appearance, or like it's the full compare and despair part of it. And it's hard to let that go, I think.
I do think in general, social media for me personally is a force that pushes me to conform, and that pushes me to like hide or cover the things that like are sort of special or magical about me that I want to give free rein to. Too much social media makes me lose touch with that.
I like that. Like what kind of things do you like that are sort of like quirky or unique?
Well, I don't know that I can answer it that way as much as I become it becomes so like outer focused, and it becomes so much about other people's reaction.
Right.
That I become so acquainted with other people's reactions, with the comments, with the feedback.
So it's like, what do you do? Who are you doing it for? Are you doing it for the reaction?
Then I start to get those voices in my head, and maybe I'll be a little less outspoken on my podcast, or a little less outspoken here, or I'll think of posting a photo, but then I'll imagine someone saying something shitty about it, and I won't want to deal with that, or I don't know.
I get that.
And then I feel like all of us should be using our voice to express what we want to express and like who we are. And I don't know, I actually, I disabled comments on a post on Instagram and a post on Twitter recently. And it totally like killed the urge to check constantly. I think I might start doing that more.
That's smart. I've done that before.
Yeah, I had never done it before.
I've done it like a couple times.
You guys, this has been so much fun.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
I loved having you on this episode of Arden Week.
Arden Week.
Hey, I loved it. I want to encourage
I know what
you.
I forgot.
I want to encourage you. I'm encouraging Alison. She's going to write a really great book. And I want to encourage her to lead with the stuff that's like your special sparkly secret stuff. Like the stuff that you would be scared to put online.
So Arden and I, after we recorded the Monday show, she and I were talking just about the process of getting books published and stuff. And I told her a bit about my journey with all of that.
Yeah.
And she totally helped me figure out what it, like, sort of come up with an angle. I'm afraid to say too much. Should I not be saying this stuff?
No, I think you can talk about it. I want to encourage
Help
you.
me package it.
And I
guess.
feel like, and I want to encourage you to not be afraid of, to not have to have a perfect Word document on your, like, literally, it doesn't have to be spell checked. Like, it doesn't have to be like, and then when I was 11, like, literally just like shitty words on a page. Don't reread it. Just open it, type it, don't reread it, don't clean it up. Just keep throwing up onto the page, and then at a certain point, then go back and reread and clean it up. But like, don't reread it. Just don't clean it up. Yeah. Just throw it up onto the page. It's not for anybody but yourself. It's just going to the Michael's craft store and getting glitter and glue and felt and yarn and sparkles. Like, don't worry about it. It's not. You're not putting it together in the puzzle yet. You're just putting the material on the page. That's it.
Thank you. It's helped me so much emailing back and forth with you. You sort of helped me figure out or crystallize a through line.
I really think that, honestly, like, I think it's a good hook that I think both, it seems to excite you, which is what's the most important thing. It seemed to like, and I think it makes it both taps into something about your core and you as a little Alison, and then becoming like an adult and your journey both in your house and out in the work world. And I think it also mirrors what's happened in society in the last few years and like changing for women. And I think I think people would really relate to your story and be ready to hear it. I think you could happily sell it and lots of people would want to read it.
Thank you. I know someone who's getting mentioned in the acknowledgments of this book that
Is it the Tone Zone? Is it Ken? Is it Ken's dad?
It's all of us, because we all talked about it here. Something that I meant to mention earlier when I was talking about Patreon, you can now sign up for an annual membership if that is something that interests you. And you can get, right now, this is going to change, but right now it is 12 months for the price of 10. So you get a bit of a savings.
Great.
It is probably going to switch to 12 months for the price of 11. But for right now, it's 12 months for the price of 10.
That's a good deal.
Love it.
Patreon.com/Alison Rosen. I'm also on Cameo, cameo.com/Alison Rosen. Listen to my other podcast, Childish. Follow me on social media at Alison Rosen. Follow the show's Twitter feed at ARIYNBF. Ken, where can we find you? What would you like people to look out for?
I'm at tvguidancecounselor.com. This week's episode is with Scott Valentine.
Whoa.
Who was Nick on
Nick?
Family Ties. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Awesome dude, and of My Demon Lover. I'm also at iCanReid.com, REID, and I'm at Kenneth W. Reid or at TV Guidance on everything.
Didn't he star in some famous TV, like anti-drug TV movie?
Yeah. No, it was, he did a whole campaign, an anti-crack cocaine campaign. Yeah.
I have got to check that one
He's
out.
a fascinating guy. Like, he died once before he started acting. He got run over by a truck and was like in a year of rehab, which is why he got Family Ties. It's like a whole thing.
I love
my
that.
God.
I love that.
I didn't even know that. Now I do. Arden, where might we find you? What would you like people to look out for?
Thank you. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Arden Myrin. It looks like Myrin, ARDEN, M as in Mary, Y as in yellow, RIN as in no. And then my book, Little Miss Little Compton, comes out on Tuesday. So apparently it's all about the pre-orders. I would be so grateful if you pre-ordered it. You can come to my show this Saturday night. If you buy your tickets, it's only $5. If you buy your tickets in advance, if you can't make it live 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. The link will be live for a week. That's at dynastytypewriter.com. And I host a wonderful show about the Bachelor franchise called Will You Accept This Rose? It's on iHeartRadio or anywhere you get your podcast. Allison has been a wonderful guest. You can recently listen to her. She did a great
so
recap
much fun.
of Nick Viall season. So that's what I would love to promote. Thank you for asking.
You are welcome. Tone Zone.
I am at Tony Thaxton on Twitter and Instagram. My podcast, Bizarre Albums, every Tuesday. And I'd like to promote waking up early. It makes you better than everyone.
Oh, how dare you? You think
Knew
you're better
you
than
people
you
felt
think
that
you're better
way.
than me? You think you
Yeah.
must be
Yeah,
nice?
You're gonna be sleeping forever.
Yeah, you gotta be sleeping forever. You think you're fucking better than me?
You guys, thank you so much. This was so fun. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey, do you know about the Alison Rosen show?